Hello, yarn tubers! Welcome back to Dana's Wanderlust Crochet and the Crochet Skills Development course. This is assignment number 2, and what we're going to be making today are these little cotton coasters. You're going to make 4 of them. We're going to do a color change. We're going to work in the round with half double crochet stitches, and when we put the little border on it, see how this border kind of tips up? This color change border is done in single crochet, which we learned in the last assignment. I like having that rim in my coaster. So, materials needed. First of all, we're going to need pen and paper, and we need 2 colors of either peaches and cream or sugar and cream, 100% cotton yarn. We want these to be washable, and you know, it's a coaster. You're going to spill stuff on it. You need a piece of yarn to use as a stitch marker, some yarn needles. I prefer these clover ones that are bent. You're going to need a pair of scissors and an H, size H, which is also called get my glasses on, it's also a US number 8 or a 5mm hook. I use these Clover Soft Touch. They don't look, you know, like much, but what a difference this design has made in my crochet universe. Okay, let's get started on your pattern abbreviations. Okay, so I'm going to write, hang on, I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to write abbreviations. And I'm going to start with the abbreviations for things that won't have a symbol for it. So I'm going to start with ST means stitch or stitches, and RND equals round or rounds. Let's see. So for the stitches, here's a chain, and when you're looking at symbols in a chart, it's just an open circle. And then I use SS for slip stitch, and a slip stitch is a closed circle. Okay. And we know from assignment number 1 that SC equals single crochet, and that is represented as a cross. Today we're going to learn HDC, which is half double crochet, and that's like a capital T. Now, it would be difficult for me to write out a chart for our pattern, but I will give you an idea of what the chart will look like. The first thing I want you to write down for the pattern is coaster. Now you're going to have the main color, which we're going to call color A, and your trim color, which we're going to call color B in the pattern. So I will underline coaster, and I will write with color, hope you can read my, with color A, chain 4, slip stitch into 4th chain from hook to form a ring. Now, forming a ring to start round work, just sitting here off the top of my head, I can think of 5 different methods. We're just going to use the chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain of that 4 to form a ring. And we are going to put our work in the center of that ring. In other assignments later on, as we get more advanced, I will show many different ways to start your round work. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and write down round 1, and I'll underline it because it starts the next set. I'm going to just have you do chain 1 as a turning chain. Like we had turning chains in assignment number 1. We did a chain 1 at the beginning of every row, and that just brings your hook up to the height of that stitch. Some turning chains, if I was going to use this chain as a substitute, like a beginning half double crochet, then I would use 2. But that first chain is just to get me up to the height I need it to be to start the round. And I know some more experienced crocheters might be screaming right now. I'm sorry about that. But I use chain 1 when I don't count it as a stitch. So I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to put 10 HDC into center of ring. And then I'm going to put a comma and I'm going to put join with slip stitch to first half double crochet. And in parentheses, I'm going to put the number 10 because that's the stitch count for that round. Now, if I was going to try, I think I did try. I tried to draw. Oh, help me. Yeah, I tried to draw those half double crochets going into the center of that ring with the little dot being the slip. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay. I will show you like part of what a chart might look like as we go along here. Okay. So, first thing is let's grab some yarn and a hook. Okay. I have my quirky little way of starting a slip knot. Let's kind of review from our last one. We act like we're going to tie a knot, but actually we just bring up a loop. And I'm going to put my hook in there. And I'm going to make sure things are not too tight. Focus, please. It's a little better. Okay. Now, what did the first of our patterns say? It said chain 4. 1, just gently, gently, gently. 2, 3, 4. And the great thing about this, at the beginning of this ring, is we don't have to turn around and go back into those spines except for the very first one. So I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to get that back in there. I'm going to glide. I'm going to be gentle and pull right through it. But I'm going to kind of hang on and make sure that hole doesn't disappear on me. So pull through, that's your slip stitch, chain 1. Now, we are going to put 10 half double crochets into that hole. Now, do you see what I'm doing with the tail? I'm making sure that it lays across there so that it gets captured as I'm working, so that we don't have to weave in ends. Now, half double crochet, here we go. Think about your single crochet. You would go in here, yarn over, bring up a loop, and then pull through 2. We're just going to add one step. We're going to yarn over before we insert the hook, yarn over, and when you bring up a loop this time, there are 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. 1 half double crochet, and here I am capturing that tail, yarn over, insert, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 2 double crochet, and as I work, I'm going to hold on here, and I'm going to pull those stitches, so that there's room to put 10 of them in there. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. There's 3 half double crochets. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Do it slowly, gently, relax, breathe. 1 stitch at a time. So what do we, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here goes number 5. There we go. Gonna get myself some more yarn out here. I'm still capturing that tail across the top of the chain. There's 5. 6. 7. 8. Here's 8. We might be running out of room there. 8. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over. 9. Here's number 10. Now I'm going to show you. We're going to count backwards as soon as I find my yarn needle, because I think, I don't know if that light is helping us any. Maybe this is better. I don't know. Okay, we're going to count backwards. There's 1 teardrop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to make sure that is identifiable and there's plenty of room for me to get a hook in there. So now at this point I'm going to drop that tail back and make sure it's back here out of the way, and I'm going to insert the hook into the top of that first half double crochet and gently slip stitch, which means I'm going to pull through the stitch and then I'm going to pull through the loop on the hook. That is round 1. I'm going to tug on that tail a little bit and see how that closes up the circle? Makes it very, very nice. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of chart work. I mean, not a lot. But so round one, we had our ring. And round one, you know, had these half double crochets in it, which is represented by this T. Okay. Round two is going to have 2 half double crochets put into the top of every half double crochet around. So if we had 10 half double crochets in round one, then round two is going to have 20. Yay! So let's write out what the pattern would look like for round two. Hope you guys can see this and just ride along, follow along with me. Round two. I'm going to underline that. I'm going to put chain one, and I'm going to put 2 half double crochet in each half double crochet around, comma, join with slip stitch to first half double crochet, and this time in parentheses we'll put a 20. There's our written pattern up to round two. Okay, we're going to start round two. Now, first of all, if you are still having trouble with your stitches being too tight, remember I taught you to go over your little finger with the working yarn in front of your middle fingers and behind your index finger. I taught you this way because this is how I do it. Not everybody does it the same. So I wouldn't know how to teach you to do it some other way. This is how I do it. Now, if you are really having trouble with tension, drop it from behind your little finger and just have it come through your first and second finger here and go in front of your other 3. And this way, just hang on to your work. Now there, where my thumbnail is, my dirty thumbnail, is where we just did this slip stitch. And our pattern tells us to chain 1. Now, don't be afraid to do a little of this. Kind of wiggle it around and make sure that's loose. So yarn over, point your hook down, because that's the way, see, I want you to look right here where my finger is, where I'm pointing at that teardrop. See how well your hook, when it's pointed down, will slide through there for your chain 1. So there's your chain 1. And right here is where we slip stitched in. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, bring up a loop, and don't, go ahead and wiggle it around to make sure it's loose enough. Yarn over, point that hook down and pull through gently, easy, glide, breathe, pull through all 3. Do it again in that same stitch. Yarn over. Oh, there's a dog hair right there. That's nice. Pull through all 3. Okay, now in your next stitch, you're going to put 2 more half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. You're going to do 1 more in that stitch, same stitch. Pull through all 3. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, loosen everything up, pull through all 3. So there's 2 in the first one, 2 in the second one, 2 in the third one. Now, I want you to put 2 in each one of these stitches all the way around, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, I have 18 stitches. I have 1 stitch left, and this is that slip stitch. It's the false stitch. So, there's 19, and here is 20. Keep it loose, keep it gentle, keep it gliding. Bring up that loop a little bit, and we're going to count. We're going to count backwards. Fold that over. There's your first teardrop right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is the first one. Focus, please. Don't split the yarn. Get under there. Here's 20. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is open that up so that we can find it. Now, you can always put a stitch marker in there too. Okay, so I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, now I can. And I am going to, because we're only using a chain 1 at the beginning, this first stitch kind of lays over a little bit sometimes. So that's why we've got to really pay attention. Okay, so yarn over, pull through the stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook, and there is round 2. Okay, let's go on to round 3. Now round 1, we did 10 in the ring. Round 2, we did 20 because at the top of every stitch we did 2 half double crochets, which we refer to as an increase. With round 3, we are going to continue to do increases, but we're going to put a single stitch in between the increases. So we're in the first stitch, we're going to put 1 half double crochet, and in the next one we'll put 2 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet, and 2 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and you're going to do that all the way around. You'll start with a single half double crochet and you will end with 2 half double crochet, the increase in your last stitch around. So a written pattern for round 3 might look like this. Round 3. I'm going to underline, I'm going to put that colon right there. I'm going to put chain 1. Now there are a couple of different ways to write out a repeat, but I'm going to do it just using brackets. So inside these brackets I'm going to put HDC, comma, 2 HDC, that's our repeat that's within the brackets. Then I'm going to write repeat 2 last stitch, comma. So write that out. And then I'm going to write slip stitch 2 first half double crochet. So write that out and we will start on round 3. Okay, round 3. Now here's the first stitch of round 2, and I'm going to kind of keep an eye on it. So because that's where I slip stitched in to join the round, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to half double crochet that first stitch right in that same stitch where I did the slip stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, loose and relaxed, all relaxed. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to point the hook down and pull through all 3. Then in the next stitch, I'm going to put 2 half double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, loosen things up, yarn over, pull through all 3, and I'm going to put another one in the same stitch. So we had 1 in the first stitch and 2 in the next stitch. I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. Let me grab it. In the very first stitch, just pull one in through gently. There we go. Now we're going to start our repeat again. See, that was our repeat that's within the brackets. 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochet. I have seen patterns written in many different ways, and this is just one. You will come across patterns that use asterisks, that use parentheses, that use many different ways to show a repeat. We just happen to be using the brackets today, which within the brackets is 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochet. This is going to be 1 half double crochet and the next one will be 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. Relaxed, gently gliding through. Put another one in there. Give me some slack. There we go. Okay, we're going to begin the repeat again. I'm going to do 1 half double crochet. Ooh, look at that dog hair. Yes. Okay. 1 half double crochet. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to put 2 half double crochet. And then 1 half double crochet, and then in the next stitch I'm putting 2 half double crochet. Okay, do that to the end of the round and I will meet you there. Okay, so I have 2 stitches left. You might think there's 3. There's not. There's 1 half double crochet. There's another half double crochet. And this false stitch, as I like to call it, is our slip stitch that goes into the beginning. So, we do not put a stitch in there. That's our slip stitch to join that round. The actual half double crochet stitches are right here. So, to complete the very last repeat, I'm going to put 1 half double crochet in there, loosely, relaxed, gently. Then I'm going to put 2 half double crochet right there. There's 1. And there's 2. And then we slip stitch to join right where that stitch marker is. I'm going to pull that out of there, yarn over, pull through the stitch, pull through the loop, and we have completed round 3. So let's look at what round 4 would look like. Now in round 3, we put 1 single stitch in between every increase, right? So this time in round 4, we're going to put, because we need to increase a little more, we're going to put a single stitch, and then an increase. So 2 single stitches between every increase. Let's see if I can somehow clarify this in my little drawing. So a single stitch, and an increase. A single stitch, and an increase. A single, and an increase. Single, and you end up with an increase. So round 4 will have 40 stitches. So let's write out round 4 in the pattern. I'm going to put, see if I can keep you in frame. Round 4, going to have chain 1, then a bracket, HDC, comma, HDC, comma, and then 2 HDC, close the bracket, repeat 2 last stitch. That's a comma. Slip stitch 2 first HDC. Oh, this doesn't have a 30 behind it. This should have a 40 behind it because it's 40 stitches. Okay, so we're going to start round 4, and I'm going to identify that stitch where I did the slip stitch. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on it. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to half double crochet in that same stitch. Loosen it up, gently pull it through all 3, and then remember, I'm going to put a single in the next stitch, a single half double crochet, and then in the 3rd stitch over I'm going to put 2 half double crochets because that's our increase. So that's our first repeat. A single half double crochet, a single half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochet being the increase. Now I'm going to go back. That's actually 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put a stitch marker right there. So that I can identify that first stitch easily when I come back around. Now let's do another repeat, and the repeat is a single half double crochet, a single half double crochet, and then the increase, meaning 2 half double crochet in the top of that stitch. So here we go. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. That's our increase, and that's another repeat. I'll do it one more time with you. Okay, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then I'm going to put 2 in the next stitch because that is the increase when you put 2 in the same stitch, and in between each increase you have 2 singles, 2 single half double crochet. So meet me at the end. So here we are at the end, and I have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, and then this is that slip stitch to join the previous round, which I call a false stitch. We will skip over that. So with 3 left, I'm going to do one more repeat, which is 1 half double crochet, and in the next stitch 1 half double crochet, and in the very last stitch, when your count is right, you will have 2 half double crochet. And if you need to, you can pause the video right here and count your stitches around. You should have 40 stitches, and then I've got a stitch marker right there. I'm going to insert where the stitch marker is, pull that stitch marker out of there, and that is your slip stitch and round number 4. Now, because we are going to do a color change. I'm going to go ahead and cut this about 8 inches out. Now I know we haven't done...
Tire status changed to orange.
Oh, please forgive my Qualcomm here in the truck. Now I know we haven't looked at the chart yet, which we will in a second, or the written pattern for round 5. But while we're here, I already cut a good 8 to 10 inch tail there. And I'm going to leave about the same length of tail on this, on the border color, because this is going to be color B, and I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to pick it up, I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to bring it through, and then I'm going to take color A, the tail, and kind of cinch it down, and I'll snug up a little bit with color B, which is our border color, and I'm just going to make sure that color A is snugged down, and then we will be ready to start with color B when we start round 5. Okay, now you've got some choices with round 5. You can make it absolutely flat by continuing what we've been doing by adding another single stitch in between your increase, which means you'd go a single stitch, and a third single stitch before you do your increase, and repeat that all the way around. Totally up to you. I personally, like I was saying in the beginning, I like a little bit of a rim around my coasters. So all I'm going to do to make that small border is I'm going to switch from doing half double crochets. Now I'm going to do single crochets, and remember those were just a little plus sign or a cross. So all I'm going to do, because I had 40 stitches in round 4 and I only want 40 stitches in round 5 to make it kind of curl up, I'm just going to put a single crochet into the top of every stitch all the way around in round 5. Just one. And since you're putting the same amount of stitches as the previous round, round 5 is going to be, I'm going to put 5 for round 5 is going to be 40 single crochet. So how would I write out round 5? I'm going to put, I better put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's better. Round 5, comma, I'm going to chain 1, oops, let's start over. Round 5, colon, underline, it's getting late. I'm going to write, you know, we already did this part, join, color, B, which in my case is the white, because I'm going to have a white trim, and comma, I'm going to put single crochet in each half double crochet around. comma, join with slip stitch to first single crochet, and that is a count of 40 because I'm not doing any increases. Okay, there's that. Then I need to complete the project, don't I? Finish off, weave in tails. Okay, there we go. So I have color B attached. I have snugged down my last tail so that it's almost non-existent. I'm going to chain one, then I'm going to snug both down a little bit, and I'm going to find that spot where I slip stitched in. It's right there. And remember, we're going to single crochet then now, so don't yarn over, just insert your hook, bring up a loop, loosen things up, yarn over and pull through two. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Nice. Okay. Things are getting furry in here. Okay, so insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, loosen things up, yarn over and pull through two. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two. Okay, meet me at the end. Okay, so I have one stitch left, and there's the slip stitch from the previous row. Okay, as I was saying, there's one half double crochet there, and then that is the slip stitch, and there is the first single crochet that I forgot to put a stitch marker in. So I'm going to single crochet right here. I'm going to skip over that slip stitch, and this first single crochet is right there. I'm going to dig that baby out. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the stitch, and pull through the chain, or the loop on my hook. And that's the end of round 5. To finish off, you're going to yarn over, do like a chain 1, and then I'm going to cut my tail about 8 inches long, and with my hook I'm going to pull it all the way through. So that is finished off. Now, because this tail got captured in at the beginning, I'm just going to snip it. I'm not going to worry about weaving it in. There's that. And then these tails, I've got 3 of them to weave in. I'm going to start with color A. And remember, 3 passes makes it secure. And I'm going to put it underneath the same color stitches. So here's where it came out. I'm going to kind of slip underneath this one, get down here, and I'm going to make a pass under here. There's one pass. just through some of the stitches. I don't really want it to come out the front. There's a second pass. And a third pass. And that will make it secure. Okay. I'll go ahead and just snip that off carefully. Now I'm going to start with this lower one of color B. And now you notice I'm on the back side of my coaster. There's a right side and a wrong side. The right side is the side that's been facing you for all this work. And the back side is the back side. It's the wrong side. A lot of your work will have a right and wrong side. And we'll probably go over that in another assignment. So here's where that comes out. I'm going to skip over this one and go underneath these for one pass. Go into there a ways here. Probably go the other direction with the other tail. So there's one. I'm going to skip over and make another pass just right through there. Don't come out of there, please. Okay. And then a third pass. See, it came out from under that one, so I'm going to go over it so it doesn't come undone. And there's a third pass. And I'll kind of make sure everything's straightened up. And I will snip that one off. Okay. I want you to weave in this last tail. I would bring it down a little bit and then probably go this way, back and forth over on this side so you don't bulk up too much right here. Weave it in over here. And I'll meet you back here. Okay, we're all done. The assignment is for you to make a set of 4. I don't care what colors, just make sure that there is a different color for the border. And I want you to realize also that these can be used for more than just coasters. I mean, you can intend these to be makeup removers, face scrubbers, dish scrubbies, whatever your creativity can come up with. But make 4 of them with a different color border, and that will complete assignment number 2 of the Crochet Skills Development course. And pat yourself on the back. You just learned how to do half double crochet in the round. I'm very pleased, and I'm looking forward to bringing you assignment number 3. Have a great day.